Hello, good morning. Y'all, I'm just out here potting up some plants, splitting some plants, and doing inventory today. I have made my first trip to the hospital. And it was a false alarm. I wasn't in labor, but there were some other issues, and everything is good though. I don't know if you've ever heard preeclampsia. Um, and so that's a pretty serious condition. So we just had to check and double check that. Everything is looking great. Baby girl is looking great. Except she is breech. And so breech means that the head is up toward my stomach and her feet are below. And she needs to be the other way around. So we're praying that she just moves and positions herself. If not, I have to get some things done pretty quickly because they may have to do some surgery and take her out next week. So, or this coming week. So, I don't have much time either way. I think she's been very active and moving and a lot. So, I'm hoping that she repositioned herself. But she's also having a little bit of Braxton Hicks contractions. So I think it'll be sooner than later, obviously. Um, but everything else is great. So I'm just out here potting up plants, hardening off some tomato plants. I have tons of Paul Robeson tomatoes, and sun gold tomatoes that I'm repotting and splitting because I had several growing. Some people from like, I just have tons of seeds. So you want those? And I was like, yes, yeah. My daughter loves sun gold tomatoes. So um, so we are just she just dug them up, repotting them because there were several in a cup. So we're just repotting. Good morning. Hey, Sisette. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing? I just was talking about baby just a bit. We're closer than we think. I do believe. Had some contractions this morning, and I'm not in labor. I don't think. I think they're just Braxton Hicks. But either way, baby will be here this week or next week because some other things that are going on. So they're just trying to see. But I think she'll be here this week. So I'm just trying to get some things done. We have to do inventory. Um, I still have to do inventory. I still have to do and inventory. By inventory, I mean I need to see how much of what I have. I know what I have. I just need to see how many of each variety I have. And so and then I'm potting up some sun gold tomatoes that were given to me. Somebody dug them out of their ground, out of their garden. They let a bunch of fruit hit the ground, and so now they have a bunch of seedlings popping up. So I'm very grateful for that. So I've just been out here. I've been out here since 9:45, 10 a.m. this morning, Eastern Standard Time, just working on the garden. But yeah, she'll be here. The baby will be here very, very soon. Um, so
No worries, I can do this by myself now.
okay, be careful. This child of mine is getting so big, y'all. She just wants to do everything on her own. It's so hard. It's like you want them to grow up, right? But it just feels like it's like I don't know what I'm asking. They grow up too fast. And then like sometimes it feels like I want her to need me when she doesn't need me, but when she needs me, I don't want her to need me. Oh, parenting. Uh so we're just potting up some sun gold tomatoes, and I'm making sure that I label everything. And then I've got to literally go around. So here's my stash on the front porch. I got Paul Robeson's under there. There's about almost 50 of those. Paul Robeson's here that I'm hardening off. And these were also grown by someone in the community. And I paid them to do that for me. Um, And she's a beginner gardener, and she grew all these plants using the sunlight from a windowsill. So, I mean, completely successful. I'm so proud of her. Just met her, and she just did a tremendous job. And then I have all these little seedlings on the front porch. I don't know if y'all can see all that. I don't know if I'm messing up the. Yep, and these are some that I've potted that's in the chair. Peepa. But so that's just some. And then of course we have all the ones that are out in the rain and in the greenhouse. But I have to take inventory today. Like that must be done today. And I'm giving myself today and Monday. Tomorrow I'm gonna rest. I think I might seed some tomorrow, but I've just been resting a lot. The past 2 days, Friday, I pretty much canceled all of my appointments, all of my meetings. I didn't attend anything. I just had to kind of like, yeah, the past 2 days have been really rough. So, um, between going to the hospital and just dealing with symptoms and things like that, I've just had to kind of take a break. Um,
Mom, I'm listening
yeah, she is, Sisette. She's very smart, and that's what bothers me sometimes. It's like she's so away from your eyes. Where's the spray going to come out? Yes. So, do you spray this way or do you spray that way?
this
Yes, away from your eyes.
so this burn.
Right, right. Two, do two.
Cause
Um,
look,
you have been working hard getting it done. Yeah, I am, but I'm so grateful for volunteers. But yes, I'm really trying to work really hard so I can be successful at this first year of farming and growing more food, and then obviously the nursery, and just meeting the needs of the community. Like I'm really trying hard, and the pregnancy is one thing, but really you just have to make up your mind to do it, right? And it's like no matter what, I'm going to get this done because there's people that are struggling with so many health conditions and mental health, physical health, um, and they're figuring out, they're getting it done. And there shouldn't be any reason why I couldn't do this when people are in worse conditions than I'm in, or more challenging conditions, you know what I'm saying? So I just keep trying to remind myself of that, but also like not pushing myself too hard. I mean, I know when I need to stop, and I don't stop, but I stop the second time. Something happens, and so I know what I can do and what I can't do, but ultimately I'm having a ball. I'm having fun. I'm getting things done, and it's raining today, so my allergies are really bad. That's why I have a mask on, and then I'm working with Perlite, and I don't know if you all follow the Garden Mac, Nick Thomas. His channel is called Nick Thomas, his name, but he goes by the Garden Mac. He was recently in the hospital because he believed that he inhaled too much perlite, and it got in his lungs and caused some issues. I think he said he was in there 4 or 5 days. So I think, but when you're in the garden and you're dealing with peat moss and all these things we have to mix in fertilizers and things like that, I think you should, especially if it has a cloud of smoke that follows after you kind of dump it out, and it blows back at you. You should wear a mask just to be safe, or pay attention to the wind. Which way the wind's blowing and that kind of thing, just to keep stuff out of your lungs. But yeah, he's doing better now. But I've seen that I wear them in my garden because of allergies. Yes.
and I have these.
Yes. Because
The
yes,
box.
yes. But that's the only box. That's it. Okay. Um. So yeah. So yes, I'm a gardener farmer with allergies, and you just have to keep it moving, right? Just have to keep it moving. Do some stuff to help you out, and keep it moving. So I take Zyrtec, which like or cetirizine, which is the off-brand or whatever. But that's the main ingredient in Zyrtec. Um, So I take that once a day amongst 7 other medications that I have to take. This pregnancy, which I did not have to do that with Little Big Girl Farmer, but so this pregnancy's been very um, interesting and different, but that's okay. I'm grateful that everything is as well as it is. So I'm just so grateful for that. Um, so I'm potting up some sun gold tomatoes. Yes, take some allergy medications. Maybe choose on and off days, especially if you know when the pollen is going to be high. You know, there's all kinds of things that you can do to kind of. But sometimes you just got to get out here and work. You know. I know that you know, Sisette. Yep. Yep. They are all different. Yep. So I'm allergic to pretty much everything apparently, and I've never dealt with them, so I don't know if the allergy or whatever. I don't know how you get allergies or how you start getting, especially the environmental ones. Maybe I've always had them and they've just been dormant, or something in my genes or something. I don't know. But last year, everything started to pop off right before the pandemic with the allergy stuff. And then I found out I had food allergies as well. I'm allergic to almonds and some other things, but not the almonds is the most serious one. So tree nuts, anything with tree nuts in it. I've never had to look at the ingredients like this before to see if, even if the product has been processed in a factory with tree nuts, I just choose not to eat it because it's, I don't want to risk it, you know. But those things just be setting me off. It's interesting. So, but definitely have environmental allergies. And you know what? I was talking to someone about it too, and they said that it could be the air quality in our city, and I'm sure it is. Most people that live here eventually develop some type of allergy. Even if you're native, you still have allergy issues. So it's definitely, I think, the pollutants in the air.
It's cold.
And all kinds of things.
Dad, it's cold.
Oh, goodness. Where's the scissors? Is that what you tried to do here?
Yes.
Oh. We're going to feed the birds.
Ah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful. Little Big Girl Farmer has discovered the snack size cereal boxes, so we have entertained that. Okay, don't drop too much. Go on back in. You ain't got no shoes on. So yeah, so these there were 4 or 5 sun gold tomato plants in this 1 cup, and all I'm trying to do is, like, so I dumped the cup and then just gently pulled them apart, and so now I have a few separate plants, and I'm just repotting. You all, I'll try to show you for beginner gardeners that are watching how I do that. I have another cup I have to split. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think sometimes when you get older, oh well, yeah, and your bodies do change when you get older, honey. Don't we know? Woo! I mean, how you in your late 30s and you already entertaining things like colonoscopies, mammograms. Like it's, you know, maybe TMI, but I'm just saying. Now I'm not doing the colonoscopy, but have you started selling seedlings yet? I love your seed starting packages on the web. I have not started selling, so we're supposed to start this week or next week, and I've already put up a sneak peek list of what people can purchase on my website at barefruitandgrow.com, and so we're supposed to start taking orders. Yep. Sometimes this week or next week at the latest. And that's why I've got to do this inventory to see how many of what I have. I know what I have, but I want to know how many plants I have, because I'm also trying to apply for a grant or a couple of grants, and so I need this inventory I need this list of inventory as well for that, and then to keep track of sales and things, of course, you know. Um, and so I'm repotting this seedling. I just want to point this out. The first two, for beginner gardeners, the first two set of leaves here, this one and this one, these are the ones that come up when the seedlings or the seed sprouts. They will eventually die off, okay, and turn red and all kinds of sorts of colors. I mean, not red. Yeah, sometimes reddish, like purplish or yellow. Most of the time it's yellow, and people freak out about that. It's supposed to do that, okay? And we're not growing tomatoes for the leaves anyway. We're growing it for the fruit. The leaves are poisonous to humans, so we don't eat the leaves. So, but with tomatoes, you can take off all of the seed, the leaves. Look, I'm just snipping them off up into those top leaves right there, and plant this in a cup or in the ground all the way up to the first set of true leaves, or as high as you want to go. And really, when you plant it in the ground for wherever in your garden bed, or let's say the root ball's here, right? You see the roots, and there's soil. You can actually lay, and I'll probably do a video later. Instead of planting directly down in the ground like this, you can actually lay the root ball on its side and then just gently tilt the plant up. So you want all that stem in the ground, and that'll make for a stronger plant. I'm cupping these, so or potting them up, so I'm not doing that too much. But I'm bending it just a little bit. See how it's not straight down, but I'm bending it just a bit. I'm gonna shake the cup so it'll cover it up, and then just pat it in. But that's it. And then I'll make for a stronger plant, because wherever those stems touch the soil, roots will grow out of it. Okay. Yeah. So don't overthink this stuff, but there's a little bit of art, you know, to gardening, you know, a little bit of technique, but really, I think if you just do it, you'll figure it out, like, and just keep doing it, you know, until you figure out what works for you. But yeah, let's see. I'm sorry. Yeah, tomatoes are a forgiving fruit. I love that. Yes, they are. And you don't have to be so gentle that you like scared you're gonna break them like a baby or something. But yes, they are very forgiving and very resilient. Very, very resilient. So, and I always take off those bottom leaves anyway, pretty high, because you're not going to produce any fruit down there usually. And also it gives like a little buffer from between the soil and the leaf. So when I'm watering, if I do water on top, the soil doesn't splash up and hit the leaves, because that can create disease issues. So I don't mind taking off bottom leaves at all, or as many leaves as I need to, because again, I'm not going to grow that much on this first set of leaves. I'm not, you know, there's not going to be any fruit for real. So I don't mind getting rid of them. Yep. I don't mind at all. Whew. Y'all, I need to stop leaning forward. Put this on the side. Ooh, yeah, that's better. A little better. Okay. So I'm just putting the soil in the cup, pressing it down just a bit. It doesn't have to be completely filled. Putting my finger in the middle to create a little hole. There's a big old piece of wood, I think. Nope, it just needs to be broken up. Okay. Somebody asked me the other day if I add perlite to my seedling mix and or to my soil mix, and yes, sometimes I do. I did to this one. I went to Lowe's yesterday and the hubby ran in for me and got 3 bags of soil. But I told him to look for the bags of soil with holes in them, and he got them at half off, or more than half off. So it was like, uh, yeah, half off. So he only spent $12, and each of those bags are easily, hey, yep, they can easily be $10 or more. So, but I did add perlite because the bag says garden soil for inches, and so it has a lot of like wood chips and stuff that isn't broken down yet, and that's okay. But I just added perlite, y'all. Use what you got, and if you don't have perlite, oh well. But you don't want your soil to be too compact. But I just added it because perlite helps with drainage. I just added it. Yep. But don't freak out if you don't have them. The perlite is this white stuff, this white ball stuff that's in your soil when you buy potting mixes from the store. That's all it is. But you can buy little small bags for like $5, or you can go online. I got my big bags at Amazon.
Just in case a bird comes by, I'm throwing these so it won't
Okay.
eat.
And these sun gold tomatoes that I was given was already hardened off. Like I said, they were in her garden in the seedlings, and they even survived the snow, y'all. We got a snow, and they survived the snow, so they're real good and hardened off. Yes.
I'm going to throw all of them.
Okay. Not on the sidewalk, in the grass over there. Your daddy just came. Your daddy just pulled up in the driveway. You see him? So, pricing seems to be one of the biggest and hardest things for me to do. And I have to stop being scared of it. um, and because I'm the type, I just, yes, I need to make money, right? Obviously, it's a business. But part of me is always has this issue with charging, because I want to meet the need of the community. So it's kind of like, what do you do if people can't afford what you price things at? And then, but the reality is that people are going to pay for what they want to pay for. They'll go out and spend $100 on shoes if they want that pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm asking for $30 for a garden coaching session, that's nothing. And compared to some other folks, there's not a whole lot of garden coaching businesses in my area. But still, I'm looking at the websites and I'm like, dang, I might have priced this stuff too low. But I also know my clientele from the past, and people are loyal. So like, I don't feel, I'm getting better at just feeling some kind of way about pricing, and then just putting out products and things like that. So people, once they yeah, you just, and it was a good thing to have sort of like a loyal client base before you even start your business. Like, people are interested. So that was good for me. So like 2 or 3 years, I just kind of played around with this thing, and realized that, oh my gosh, this could work. Like, this could really work as a little business. And um, because every year I would get new clients, and I was not charging anything really. Um, so just people that were interested are calling and asking questions. So if I can do that, then I feel like I can just go for it. And that's kind of what I did. Hey, Dad, how was class? It's alright. Oh goodness. So hubby is in. Him and, hey, what's going on? How are you? Good. I know y'all are doing it though. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all though. Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah, we good. We good. It'll be this week. I'm certain. Baby. Yeah. Yeah. She cutting up, so we'll see. Yeah, yep. That's all right though. Whatever it takes. Make sure everybody's healthy. Yep. She is. She's growing fast. Hold on, my brother-in-law, y'all. Hold on just a second. 3 pounds 7 ounces. Yeah, 3 pounds 7 ounces. And now she's 9 pounds. And what? That's like 2 months later. Yeah, she's a trooper, dude. She's a beast. Yeah, so we can't wait. We still praying for y'all. We love y'all. Thank you. Love you. All right, bye. So my brother-in-law and sister-in-law just had a baby. My husband's brother, and their baby was due in March, but she came in February, 5 weeks early. 5 weeks early. And so she was 3 pounds 7 ounces when she was born, and now she's 9 pounds. So she is just doing phenomenal. They had to keep her in the NICU, for 5 6 weeks. But gosh, I mean, she's just like a weed, and I'm so grateful for that she's doing so well. So hey, Best Yet Journey, girl, you telling me nothing. She's growing like a weed too. Yep. Hey, VA Growing Gardener. Hello, King. My temperature today is about 52 degrees. When I came out earlier, yeah, it's 52, and it's a little chilly to be trying to harden off these tomato plants, but it's also cloudy, and I think that's why it's so chilly. But I'm doing it. And by hardening off for beginner gardeners, that just means that you're trying to. These plants were grown indoors. And so to acclimate them to the outdoor weather, you have to just kind of give them some time outside. And it's best to set them, like on cloudy days, this is a perfect day. I do wish the temperature was a little bit warmer, and it's supposed to get a little bit warmer, but it's going to rain all day. So you can let them be rained on. But if the sun is out, I would pick like a partially sunny spot, shaded spot, if not shaded all the way, for a few days just to get them acclimated. But usually I harden off for about a week. They say at least 2 weeks, but I don't do that, and they turn out okay. So any plant that I grow inside, I harden off for about a week or so, and then I put them in the ground. Let's see, I'm looking at the chat. Oh, you changing your tires and listen. Oh, man. On your car? Do you have a blood on your car, VA? I'm doing good. Best yet, thank you. How are you? I'm doing good. I just told the people that, baby will probably be here this week, if not next week, but I'm pretty sure she'll be here this week. We've had some issues, but everybody's healthy, everybody's fine, but we just, there's just some precautions, and it's almost like they're either going to have to, if she doesn't come on her own, they're going to have to, help her come into the world. But that's okay. And she's not positioned correctly either, so that's part of the issue. But everything's all right. We good. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it through. I'm just splitting and potting up some sungo tomatoes, which is like a cherry tomato. Because somebody gave them to me out of their garden. They had let a lot of fruit drop, and these seedlings have been popping up. And she's like, "There's no way I'm going to plant all of these." So I was like, "Yes, ma'am, I will take them." So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that people are just so generous. So generous. You don't do harden off, Sisette? And that's probably true, right? Because, yeah, that's probably, yeah. And that's nice. But here in Zone 7A, Kentucky, you don't know if it's going to be winter, summer, spring, the next day. You just don't know. So Um, I didn't know about hardening off when I sowed all my seeds. So again, hardening off is just if you sown them inside and you are trying to bring them outside, okay, after they sprout. So after you have plants, you just want to try to get them acclimated to the outdoors. And Suzette says she doesn't do it. Suzette, what zone are you in? But I'm in zone 7A. We used to be 6B. So I think the colder you are, you definitely need to do it. In the early, like the zones 0 through 6 or 7. I think you should do it, hardening off. There are people in California that I watch their channels. They harden off, but I mean, it just depends. I mean, I think you should try it. If like so, if you're 9B, Suzette. Okay, Suzette is in 9B. So hi TLC in the garden. Hi. TLC used to be my favorite group growing up. My favorite girl group. And me and my sister and my cousin used to do all their music and make up dance moves to all their music. And of course, at the time, I had no idea what red light special meant. But it was so cool, and I was T-Boz. My sister was left eye, and my cousin was. And there's several seedlings in here. So I have 1, 2, 3, and what I'm going to do is just grab one and gently pull. Just pull it apart. Just like that. And so now I have 4 separate plants, and I'm putting everybody in their own home. Give it a shake, press it down, and I'm done. Yep, that simple. And this one got a little bit, sometimes it got too much soil. You might want to dump some out. Dig your hole with your finger. Put the plant in. Shake it so the soil will kind of even out, and then add your soil. Some more soil. Shake it again. Kind of shake it around. It's okay. If the plant if the leaves are touching the soil, just go ahead and take those bottom leaves off. Usually the sprouting leaves anyway. You don't need them. Press it in and you're done. So simple. Simple, simple. Tedious sometimes, but simple. Let me see. You had a crush on Chili? Yes. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's beautiful. I know now I put them out like Mama Bird, and I did okay with some things. Yeah. And sometimes when you harden them off, they die because of plant shock. And but don't think they're automatically gonna die when you see things like wilt, like the plant's wilting or leaning over, and you're just like, oh God, does it need water? Oh God, does it? Well, if you've already watered, don't worry, it doesn't need water. Or if you put your finger down in the soil and it feels wet, it's not water. It's just the plant acclimating, and I leave them out just for a couple hours in a partially shaded or fully shaded area, and then eventually I do move them into full sun. But really, I mean, I don't think that much about it. I really don't think that much about it at all. Yeah, just shake it to even out the soil. Yep, that's right. So I think I'm done with all the sun golds. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I have more than. I do want to separate these. So like I have 2 in this cup. So I'm just gonna grab the seedlings, just gently. I like to do it in between my fingers like that, and remove this so I don't make a mess. I have a bucket down here with soil in it, and I'm gonna tip the cup and just kind of let it fall out. I still got them, and so that one just easily came out because they're not rooted. She just pulled these out of her garden. And the other one is here. So I'm just going to fill the cup back up. Oh, there's another one down there. Look at there. We'll see if that one survives. I don't really, it has a very, very small root on it. Um, so now I'm going to fill it back up with soil and repot those. One in each cup. Because they're getting big. Anyway. And most of these will go in my garden eventually. Now I still have to wait here to plant out my garden. After this week, I'm gonna give it this week. The temperatures seem to like they're gonna be above 45 degrees. I want them to be above 55 degrees or in the 50s before I plant out my tomatoes and peppers and things. But sometimes, and everybody here, there's like a rule of thumb in this community that you don't plant your gardens until after the Kentucky Derby. I mean, I watch the weather, so as best I can. So I'm not worried about no Kentucky Derby. That's just me. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying that's not what I do. I watch the weather. The nighttime temperatures, those nighttime temperatures, you want those temperatures to be above 55 degrees before you start planting out all your peppers and tomatoes and eggplant and any other warm weather crop, in my opinion. My experience. Yeah, the Derby can have a seat. I worked the Derby one year when I was in college. One season, and I would never do that again. When I tell you back-breaking work, and it wasn't the back-breaking work, it was the back-breaking. I mean, y'all, carrying 20-pound bags for at least maybe half a football field or less, maybe 40 yards back and forth. Like, I'm like, can we get a go-kart or something? No, they had us carrying 20-pound bags of ice on our backs. I would never forget that. I would never, ever forget Derby, working Derby. And then, honey, what all the stuff we saw. People, well, they act a daggone fool. So, anyway, we normally wait until after Mother's Day in 6B, Ohio. Okay. And that seems to be a good one, too, that people do. And, I mean, farmers everywhere have their little systems, right? And so if that's what you're hearing, try it in your area and see if that works for you. But I like to watch the TV, watch the news, and the weather can be wrong. You know, it's wrong all the time, y'all. But I try my best to watch those nighttime temperatures. That's what I want. I want those nighttime temperatures to be just right. We're going to put some more soil in here. And there's a few more seedlings popping up in here. Well, Lordy be. I might just let that one go in my garden. How about that? Because there's one good plant and then 2 other seedlings. So I might just save that one for the garden and not give that one away. Yeah. Let's see. Does this one have 2? No, that's 1. These are looking good. And these survived the snow. These were in her garden bed and survived the snow that we got here a couple days ago. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And they always say volunteer plants. The plants that you don't grow or that you don't sow, you don't sow seed or put them in your garden. They just pop up the next season. Those are volunteer plants. And they always say those are the best, most resilient plants. Look at this leaf on this Paul Robeson tomato. Yeah, see how it's looks kind of droopy. Feel that? If I want to, my nail and just pop that right off. Because again, it's fruit on these leaves right here. It's not. I don't need this. You're not growing a tomato plant for the leaves, okay? We can't eat the leaves. You're growing it for the fruit. So don't be scared if you have to just pop it off. And what I could have done was maybe put that in water and create a clone or a new plant instead of just tossing it. I could have done that, but anyway, I tossed it. That's right. Uh, I'm having to restart from seed, and I'm going to do it outside. Do you think it's safe to sow seeds today? Yes. Yep. Go on and drop those seeds. They'll sprout when it's time for them to sprout. I would say you can drop seed anytime, whether it's cold weather crops or warm weather crops. I would just drop the warm weather crops closer, maybe 8 weeks away from the last frost date. 4 to 8 weeks away. If you're going to drop the seed for warm weather crops from your last frost date, um, but when you direct sow, you just have to bank on, because most people start harvesting, at least in my zone, in zone 7A, 6B, 7A, they start harvesting in August. And that's usually when you see the harvest for Midwest, for the Midwest. So just expect that your plants are going to be, start to fruit, and you'll be able to harvest then. Starting them indoors in like February, March early just gives you a good lead on the season, right? You're going to fruit your plants, or your plants are going to fruit quicker or sooner, not quicker, but sooner than if they were just sown, a couple months later. That's all. So when you do indoor plantings, you're trying to get a jump on the season. Okay, but go on and drop them seeds. Yes. Short answer, drop them. Drop them. I didn't like what happened to me with the cold frost we had. I will not be putting my seedlings in the ground until after Earth Day next year. But it took you experiencing that to kind of learn and try something different. And so I'm so excited that you're like, instead of saying I'm never dropping seed again, I'm never putting my plants out there again, I'm never sowing and growing my own seeds again, I'm just gonna go buy from the store. You're like I'm gonna try something else, right, and see if it works. So I love that. I love that you're just open to that, open to the journey, right? Best yet, journey. Yeah, open to the journey. That's right. That's right. Okay, so I think we got all of our sun-grown tomatoes potted. All the Paul Robesons are potted. I don't think I have to separate any of those. Everybody has their own cup, it looks like, which is great. But I don't have all of them. I have like 4 seedlings right here that I need to pot. What am I talking about? So I'm using the Sharpie paint pen. That's so much better than just a permanent marker. It took me 6 years to finally buy some. Even though I kept hearing that, especially when you winter sow and you're writing or trying to label, or you have your plants outside and you're leaving them outside the sun, eventually, and the rain washes the ink off. But paint pens seem to be doing the trick. FYI. Let's see, my 30 tomato plants, Suzette, have flowers. Okay. My 30 tomato plants have flowers and have squash cucumber flowers as well. Girl. Yeah, so you got a good head start on the season. Really good head start on the season this year. That's what's up. And all 30 are going in your garden, Suzette? Whew, I think baby girl's getting hungry. She's starting to kick me. That's my neighbors pulling out. Let's see. All 30 are in my garden. I direct sowed. Kapow. I know that's right. And when you direct sow, just drop the, you can drop the seeds where you want them, but sometimes the seeds are so small, y'all just it's a hassle. And there's little tools like you can purchase this, I don't know what it's called, a seeder, I guess, a little hand seeder, and it's round with a little spout, and you can kind of shake the seeds out that way, or you can just use your fingers, or whatever. I just drop them, and if I need to thin or separate or move things, then I'll do that. But mostly I just drop. I just drop where I want them. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Yankee sister. Good morning. Thank you for the Shakira. Hi, good morning. Thank you for the that tip. I was just literally looking at my plant markers, realizing that permanent marker isn't permanent. Yep, it's not. Not in the rain and sun. Hey, I say I'm thinking about moving to Florida. Why? Why, Bessiette? For their growing season? You want to move to Florida for their growing season? I'm just potting up some plants, y'all, that I got from somebody's garden. They had seedlings come up and they're everywhere, so she let me have a few. Sun gold tomatoes. You can see that? Just put my finger down in there. Get in there, shaker. Tap it in. Pat it in. Boom, done. I'll water them in a bit. The soil is already a little wet, but I'll water them. I'll water them in very, very soon. Just to make sure they got enough. I might just go ahead and set them out here in the rain, because it's going to rain all day. And y'all, rainwater is the best water, I really feel. Because you know how when you go out in the garden and after a rain, and stop it, girl. and that your plants are just so green and lush and like they just perked up, and that's because rainwater has a great concentration of nitrogen in it, and nitrogen is what makes our plants green and beautiful, the leaves and things. So that's why. So if you can get rainwater, hook up a rain barrel to a barrel to your water catchment. Hook up a barrel to use as a water catchment system. Just on your gutter, the gutter of your house, or Diva Jones 06 just has barrels sitting out, right? And she catches water just with the lids off, and she catches water like that. Whatever works. But it's a great way to catch that rainwater, and then you're not using a lot of city water, which has a lot of chlorine and stuff in it. It has stuff in it, but it's not bad. I mean, you can use it in your garden, is what I'm saying. But rainwater seems to be, so it cut back on my bill a little bit. That's all I'm saying. And again, the plants tend to like just love it, love it, love it, love it. Give her a little shake. Yep, that nitrogen. That's right. I collect as well all the time, all over my garden, so it can be close to my plants. Boom. So I was like, why do I keep walking from the corner of my house all the way over to the side yard? So I have 4 rain barrels that need to be cleaned out first, and then like they're clean, they have a food grade product in them. But that needs to be cleaned out, if that makes any sense. And then I was like, I'm gonna just sit a barrel or two next or in between so many beds, so I don't have to keep And the trick is too to elevate them, because that gravity pulls the water down. So if you don't have a pump, you can even use them to hook drip irrigation, but they need to be elevated pretty well, pretty high, and you can use the Rain Barrel as a drip irrigation system instead of connecting it to your hose. There's all kinds of things you can do. It's so cool. It's so cool. I'm getting cold, y'all. It's cold out here. It's 52, 53 degrees right now. I'm cold. I've been out here since about 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up and go in and eat some lunch and then come back at it, because I feel pretty good today. Feel like I can do something today. I don't feel sick and as nauseous as I have been feeling. Yeah. Yep. Get these last few seedlings, and then I'm gonna go in here and get some grub, y'all. Yep. I get questions about the purple stems on tomato plants and pepper plants and any plant, especially if you've been growing them inside. Anybody have any recommendations about when your plants start to turn purple? The leaves or the stems? In my experience, to me, that is just a sign of a nutrient deficient plant.
Do you know what I'm going to do to this balloon, Mom?
What's that?
Do you know what I'm going to do?
I don't know what you're going to do with it.
Watch.
Okay, I'm watching.
It's going to pop in the grass. Balloons pop.
One more to do, yeah. One more.
Mom,
But yes.
pop like your ears.
Okay.
Like pop.
Okay. Pop it.
Like your ears.
Oh my gosh, these seedlings just keep popping up everywhere. Okay, I got one more here. The plant. Okay. I'm running out of room on this table. In the chair. Oh boy. But yeah, in my experience, it just means that it's time to give it some fertilizer of some sort. Let's see what everybody else says.
Perfect.
Thank you, Suzette. Bessie said I'm going to look on the marketplace to get something I can catch water in for free. Yeah, girl. Have a great rest of your day. Is it normal to have red attend on your strawberry plants?
Why am I so
Is it normal to have red attend? Maybe that word attend is not what you meant to type. Is it normal to have red on your strawberry plants?
I popped it.
The leaves turn like a reddish brown. I've had that before. Red stems, a little bit, just a bit, but it probably means again a nutrient deficiency, or it's just dying off for some reason. But don't freak out too much. If the rest of the plant looks good, don't freak out too much about that. Also, the sun can cause some issues with the leaves burning or looking like they're burning, but that's usually like a white, like when I showed the tomato plant earlier. And if anybody else has any comments for that, red stems on the tomato plants. But yeah, that piece of that stem or that branch is probably going to die off soon, and that's okay. You can just clip it off, just prune it off, or whatever you need to do. Yeah. So this little seedling is very leggy. It was actually inside the soil. It looked like it was trying to work its way out of the soil. So I'm just gonna take some of that soil out of the cup, put a hole, and I'm gonna bury it all the way up. All the way up. So I'm gonna require that I bend the stem just a little bit or most of the stem is going to be in the soil, and that's okay with tomato plants, pepper plants even. Um, just like that. Can y'all see it? Little seedling. And we're done. So, let me see what else y'all type in the chat. Hold on. Yeah, just don't worry about that. I would say give it some fish fertilizer or whatever you use to fertilize. Just a good kick of nitrogen. If they're already starting to flower, you may want to do just like equal 5-5-5 fertilizer so it could get equal amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. But and or just prune it off. I don't worry about it. You've never seen a red stem on a strawberry plant? Yeah, I have a time or two. I don't pay no mind. If it looks ugly, I prune it off, but because the rest of the plant looks great, so I don't worry about it. Molasses is one of those things, VA, that I have not used in the garden, but people talk about it all the time. That is so good for plants. Um, but I've never used molasses. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Thank you. And I will holler. I know I've been on here longer than 26 minutes. Why is it 20? I don't know. But anyway, thank y'all so much for hanging out. I will probably come back on later, maybe. I got some other things I want to show y'all today. If the rain eases up a bit, then I'll do that. Because it's coming down pretty. I mean, it's not hard, but it's a nice little shower. Um, but I'm gonna go eat some food, feed this baby, and I'll holler at y'all later. Thank y'all for hanging out. It was good to see everybody. Bye bye.